The miscalculation, the Discovery Supreme Commander Vector of the Krillian Dominion stood before the central viewport of his flagship, the Eternal Conquest. His crimson eyes studied the blue planet, rotating peacefully in the distance. Earth, a world his scouts had discovered 3 cycles ago during their expansion through this remote spiral arm of the galaxy. The planet appeared unremarkable. Small, isolated, orbiting an average yellow star. Perfect for colonization. "Status report," Vector commanded. His voice echoed through the bridge where dozens of officers worked at their stations. The Krillians were a proud warrior race. Their purple-scaled skin and powerful builds had intimidated countless species across 40 conquered worlds. They stood 7 feet tall with muscular frames designed for combat. Their technology had made them nearly unstoppable. "Supreme Commander, all 2,000 vessels report ready," replied Navigation Officer Thurick. "The planet shows primitive development. Radio signals, basic satellites, chemical propulsion systems. Their most advanced weapons appear to be atomic fission devices. Hardly a threat to our shields." Vector smiled, revealing sharp teeth. Another easy conquest. The Krillian Dominion had perfected the art of subjugation. They would arrive, demonstrate overwhelming force, and the primitive species would surrender. Those who resisted faced annihilation. Simple, efficient, proven across 4 decades of expansion. "How many inhabitants?" Vector asked. "Approximately 8 billion, Supreme Commander. They call themselves humans. They are divided into hundreds of separate nations, constantly fighting among themselves. They have no unified government or military command. They are fractured and weak." This made Vector laugh. A divided species never survived first contact with the Dominion. Unity was strength. These humans would learn that lesson before they became slaves to the Empire. The arrival, the Krillian Armada, emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 2,000 warships materialized in perfect formation. Each vessel stretched over a mile long, bristling with plasma cannons and particle beam weapons. Their dark hulls absorbed light, making them appear as shadows against the stars. The fleet's combined firepower could crack a planet's crust. "Begin the approach," Vector ordered. Standard intimidation formation. Let them see what they face. The massive fleet moved toward Earth like a wave of darkness. Their engines warped space itself, creating ripples visible even to the primitive telescopes on the planet below. On Earth, alarms began sounding. Governments went into emergency sessions. Military forces mobilized. Panic spread across social networks as billions of humans looked up and saw death approaching from the stars. But in the deepest command centers, buried miles beneath mountains and oceans, a different reaction occurred. Senior military officials gathered around holographic displays. They watched the alien fleet approach with calculating eyes. They counted ships. They measured energy signatures. They analyzed weapon systems. And then, quietly, they began issuing orders. The Messagerie car prepared the standard conquest declaration. Every species received the same message: surrender or die. Simple words that had worked 40 times before. He activated the communication system, broadcasting on all frequencies the humans used. "Attention, primitive beings of Earth. I am Supreme Commander Vector of the Krillian Dominion. Your planet now belongs to the Empire. You have 48 of your hours to surrender unconditionally. Disable all weapons. Evacuate all military installations. Prepare your leaders for transfer to our custody. Resistance will result in complete extinction. This is your only warning. Submit or perish." The message reached Earth instantly. It played on every television, every radio, every communication device. Translations appeared automatically in every human language. The Krillians were thorough. They wanted everyone to understand their fate. Vector expected immediate chaos, begging, negotiation attempts, desperate offers. That's what always happened. Primitive species recognized superior force when they saw it, but Earth remained silent. No response came. Hours passed. Still nothing. The silence was complete and absolute. This is unusual, Thurek observed nervously. Every other species responded within minutes, even if only to curse us or plead for mercy. Vector frowned. Perhaps their communication systems are too primitive to reach us, or they are paralyzed with fear. It matters not. We wait the full 48 hours as protocol demands. Then we begin the bombardment. The silence 24 hours passed. Then 36. The deadline approached. Still, Earth sent no message. No surrender. No defiance. Just silence. Vector grew increasingly agitated. This had never happened before. The waiting was intended to torture the enemy with dread, but now it felt like the humans were ignoring them entirely. Perhaps they don't understand the danger, suggested Weapons Officer Malgren. Should we demonstrate our power? Destroy one of their moons as a warning? No, Vector decided. We gave them time. When the deadline expires, we will destroy their capital cities simultaneously. That will teach them respect. Across the Krillian fleet, weapon systems charged. Targeting computers locked onto major population centers. New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, Tokyo, Mumbai, São Paulo. 7 cities selected for simultaneous annihilation. The plasma cannons would turn each city into molten glass in seconds. It would be a display of power that would break human resistance forever. But on Earth, in those hidden command centers, humans were not paralyzed by fear. They were waiting, patient, calm, ready. For decades, they had prepared for this exact scenario. Not hoping for it, not wanting it, but ready nonetheless. The activation 47 hours and 59 minutes after Vector's ultimatum. Something changed. Across Earth's orbit, thousands of objects that the Krillians had dismissed as space debris suddenly activated. Satellites that appeared dormant burst to life. Asteroids that seemed natural revealed metallic cores. Space stations that looked abandoned lit up with power signatures. Supreme Commander, Thurek shouted in alarm. Massive energy spikes detected across the planet's orbital space. Unknown objects activating everywhere. Vector spun toward the tactical display. His blood ran cold. The screen showed thousands of contacts. No, tens of thousands. Surrounding his fleet. Above them. Below them. On all sides. How had they missed this? What are those? He demanded. Unknown technology, Supreme Commander. The energy signatures don't match anything in our database. They're nothing like the primitive systems we detected. Suddenly, every screen on the Krillian flagship changed. The tactical displays, communication panels, even personal devices. Everything showed the same image. A human face. Male, middle-aged, with steel-gray hair and cold eyes. He wore a military uniform with stars on his shoulders. Behind him, dozens of other humans worked at advanced computer stations that looked far more sophisticated than anything the Krillians had seen in their scans. The humans spoke in perfect Krillian language. Supreme Commander Vector. I am General Marcus Chon of the United Earth Defense Command. You were warned to leave. You chose not to listen. That was a mistake. The trap feeder's mind raced. This was impossible. The scans had shown primitive technology. Chemical rockets. Radio waves. How could they have hidden this? How could they have deceived an entire Krillian scout fleet? You scanned our world, General Chun continued, as if reading Victor's thoughts. You saw what we wanted you to see. Old satellites broadcasting outdated signals. Chemical rockets launched for show. Nuclear weapons we've kept as historical relics. You saw a primitive species divided and weak. You saw exactly what we designed you to see. Impossible, Victor whispered. Asterisk. For 50 years we've watched you, Sean said. Watched you conquer 40 worlds. Watched you enslave species after species. We studied your tactics, your weapons, your weaknesses. We knew you would come here eventually. And we prepared. Thurek frantically worked his console. Supreme Commander, I'm detecting energy weapons charging. Thousands of them, all targeting our fleet. You wanted to demonstrate your power by destroying our cities, Chun said. His voice was cold now. Let us demonstrate ours. The human's hand moved out of view. Vector knew what was coming. He opened his mouth to order evasive action, to command retreat, to do anything. But he was too slow. He had underestimated humans. It was the last mistake he would ever make. Fire, General Chun said quietly. Earth's orbital defense network activated as one. 30,000 automated weapons platforms, each one housing technology decades ahead of anything the Krillians possessed. Railguns that could punch through any shield. Directed energy weapons that moved at light speed. Quantum disruption fields that tore apart molecular bonds. And experimental weapons the Krillians couldn't even understand. Asterisk. The space around the Krillian fleet erupted in light and death. 2,000 warships, the pride of the Dominion, the terror of 40 conquered worlds, began exploding. Not slowly, not one at a time, but in massive clusters as coordinated fire tore through their formations. Victor watched in horror as his fleet died. Ships that had survived 100 battles simply ceased to exist. His own vessel shook as weapons impacts overwhelmed the shields in seconds. Alarms screamed. Officers shouted in panic. Explosions ripped through multiple decks. Retreat! Victor screamed. Full retreat. Emergency hyperspace jump. But the humans had thought of that too. Gravity field generators activated across Earth's orbit, creating massive distortions in spacetime. Hyperspace engines couldn't function in such conditions. The Krillian fleet was trapped, surrounded, doomed. This is impossible, Victor whispered again as his flagship's shields failed. We are the Dominion. We are unstoppable. We have conquered 40 worlds. On the screen, General Chun's expression didn't change. You conquered 40 worlds that weren't ready for you. That didn't see you coming. That didn't have time to prepare. We had 50 years. We were ready. And now the galaxy will know. Humanity is not prey. The last thing Supreme Commander Victor saw was a brilliant flash of light as a railgun round traveling at relativistic speeds struck the bridge of the eternal conquest. The flagship exploded into 1,000,000 fragments. Within 5 minutes of the battle's beginning, the entire Krillian armada was destroyed. 2,000 warships reduced to debris. Not a single vessel escaped. Not a single Krillian survived. Earth's orbital defenses powered down. The space around the planet was filled with wreckage and fading energy signatures. And silence. The same silence that had so confused Vector. But now it was the silence of victory. Asterisk, the reckoning, the witness 300 light years from Earth. Aboard an observation vessel, hidden in the darkness between stars. Ambassador Threx of the Galactic Council watched the battle's conclusion with all 4 of his eyes wide with shock. The insectoid diplomat had been monitoring the Krillian invasion as part of the Council's ongoing documentation of the Dominion's expansion. He had expected to witness another tragic conquest. Instead, he had just watched the impossible. Did that really happen? His aide whispered beside him. Did the humans just destroy the entire Krillian fleet in 5 minutes? Threx didn't answer immediately. His mandibles clicked nervously as he replayed the sensor data. 2,000 warships. Gone. The most powerful military force in 3 sectors of space, eliminated with surgical precision. The humans hadn't just won. They had dominated. It wasn't a battle. It was an execution. Send everything to the Council, Threx finally said. Every scan, every recording, every data point. They need to see this immediately. Across the galaxy, other civilizations had also been watching. The Krillian Dominion's conquests were public knowledge. Many species lived in fear, wondering if they would be next. Some had tried to fight and failed. Others had surrendered without resistance. But now, word began spreading through quantum communication networks at faster-than-light speeds. The Krillians had been destroyed, completely, by a species no one had ever heard of before. Revelation General Marcus Chun remained standing in the command center deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Around him, dozens of officers and technicians monitored screens showing the debris field in Earth's orbit. The operation had gone exactly as planned. Years of preparation, decades of secret development, all leading to this moment. Sir, we're receiving communication requests from multiple sources, reported Communications Officer Sarah Rodriguez. The Galactic Council wants immediate contact. So do representatives from at least 20 other civilizations. They all want to know who we are. Chun nodded slowly. Open a channel to the Galactic Council. It's time they knew the truth about humanity. Within minutes, a holographic projection appeared before Chun. It showed Ambassador Threx, along with representatives from a dozen other alien species. All of them looked shocked, frightened, or deeply curious. Some combination of all three. General Chun of Earth, Threx began, his translator converting his clicks and chirps into English. The Galactic Council requests explanation. Our records show your species only achieved spaceflight 75 of your years ago. You appeared to be in early industrial development. Yet you just destroyed the Krillian Dominion's primary fleet with technology we cannot identify. How is this possible? Chun allowed himself a small smile. Ambassador, let me tell you a story about humanity. 53 years ago, when we first ventured beyond our own moon, our deep space probes detected something. Radio transmissions from a distant star system. We listened. We decoded them. And we learned we were not alone in the universe. The alien representatives leaned forward, listening intently. Those transmissions told us everything, Chun continued. They were broadcasts from the Krillian Dominion to a species they had just conquered. The broadcasts detailed their military strength, their tactics, their expansion plans. We learned that the galaxy was not a peaceful place. We learned that first contact would likely not be friendly. And we learned we had very little time to prepare. The hidden truth, so you went silent, Threx said, understanding dawning in his multifaceted eyes. You stopped broadcasting into space. Exactly, Chun confirmed. We immediately ceased all deep space transmissions. We built satellites that only broadcast inward, toward Earth. We made ourselves invisible. And we prepared for war. But how? Another council member asked. This one was a floating jellyfish-like creature in a tank of liquid. Our scans of your planet showed primitive technology. Chemical propulsion, radio communications, fission weapons. Because that's what we showed you, Chun replied. Every probe that entered our system, every scout ship that passed nearby, they all saw carefully staged displays of primitive technology. We launched chemical rockets for them to observe. We broadcast old radio signals. We kept our city's electrical patterns matching early industrial development. Meanwhile, in hidden facilities across our planet and throughout our solar system, we were building something very different. Chun gestured, and holographic images appeared showing massive underground complexes, orbital construction facilities hidden behind asteroids, research stations on distant moons. We took everything we learned from intercepting galactic communications, every mathematical equation broadcast by peaceful species, every scientific principle discussed in open transmissions. We absorbed it all, and we didn't just copy it. We improved it. Improved it? Threx asked skeptically. You're saying you advanced beyond civilizations with thousands of years of spacefaring experience? Not beyond everyone, John admitted. But beyond the Krillians, yes. You see, Ambassador, humanity has one advantage most species don't. We're very good at war. For our entire history, we've fought each other. We've studied conflict, refined tactics, developed weapons. When we learned the galaxy was dangerous, we didn't panic. We didn't surrender. We prepared. The Arsenal Chon pulled up more data. The railguns that destroyed the Krillian shields? We designed them using principles from particle accelerators we built for scientific research, then weaponized them. The directed energy weapons? Based on laser technology we'd been developing for decades, enhanced with quantum mechanics we learned from intercepted academic broadcasts. The gravity field generators that prevented their escape? Original human development based on theoretical physics. Impossible, someone whispered. Not impossible, Chun corrected. Difficult. It required our entire planet working in secret unity for 5 decades. Every nation contributed. We pooled our resources, our brightest minds, our industrial capacity. We stopped fighting each other and focused on survival. The Krillians thought we were divided. They were wrong. We were united in a way they never understood. Rodriguez spoke up again. Sir, we're receiving messages from 17 civilizations that were conquered by the Krillians. They're asking for help. They want liberation. Chun nodded. He had expected this. Tell them we're listening. But first, we need to address the immediate situation. Another holographic display activated, showing the wreckage in Earth's orbit. The Krillian fleet carried approximately 400,000 personnel. None survived. This was not our preference. We broadcast multiple warnings telling them to leave. They ignored us. When they positioned weapons to fire on our cities, they chose their fate. The Mesagethrix spoke carefully. General Chun, the Galactic Council must ask, what are humanity's intentions? You have demonstrated devastating military capability. You have destroyed a major galactic power. Many species are now frightened of you. Chun's expression hardened. Our intentions are simple, Ambassador. We want to live in peace. We want to explore the galaxy. We want to trade with other civilizations and exchange knowledge. But we will not be conquered. We will not be enslaved. And we will not stand by while others are victimized by empires like the Krillians. You would fight their battles? Another council member asked. If necessary, Chun replied. The Krillians conquered 40 worlds. Those species deserve freedom. Those worlds deserve liberation. Humanity will offer assistance to any civilization seeking to break free from tyranny. This caused murmuring among the council representatives. Some seemed hopeful. Others appeared concerned. Threx raised a limb for silence. General, you must understand. The Krillian Dominion is not just that fleet. They have colonies, outposts, reserve forces. They will respond to this defeat with greater numbers. Chun smiled grimly. Ambassador, that was just our orbital defense network. Our first line of defense. We have much more. The Krillians can send every ship they have. The outcome will be the same. You're that confident? Threx asked. We're that prepared, Chun corrected. For 50 years, we've built in secret. We have fleets of our own now, hidden throughout our solar system. We have weapons platforms on every planet and moon. We have technologies the galaxy hasn't seen because we developed them in isolation. And most importantly, We have 8 billion humans who will fight to their last breath to protect their freedom. The new Order Rodriguez interrupted again. Sir, urgent message from deep space sensors. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. Large fleet incoming. It's Krillian reinforcements. The council representatives reacted with alarm, but Chun remained calm. How many ships? 5,000, Rodriguez reported. They must have been nearby. Estimated arrival time, 40 minutes. Threx looked worried. General, even with your capabilities, 5,000 ships is a considerable force. Perhaps evacuation. No, Chun said firmly. He turned to his command staff. Alert all defense grids. Activate the Mars installations. Bring the Jupiter platforms online. And deploy the fleet. Deploy the fleet, sir. Rodriguez asked for confirmation. Yes, it's time the galaxy saw what humanity has really built. Throughout Earth's solar system, massive installations that had been hidden for decades suddenly revealed themselves. On Mars, weapon batteries rose from beneath the red sand. In the asteroid belt, entire asteroids opened up, revealing military installations inside. Near Jupiter, massive space stations that had appeared to be simple research outposts transformed into fortress platforms bristling with weapons. And from lunar orbit, where they had been concealed behind gravitational cloaking fields, 200 human warships emerged. Each vessel was 2 miles long, built with the combined technology of Earth's nations and 50 years of secret development. They weren't as numerous as the Krillian fleet. They didn't need to be. Ambassador Threx, Chun said calmly, you and the Council are about to witness something important. The Krillians built an empire on fear and overwhelming force. They believed might made right. They're about to learn that humanity has both the might and the righteousness. The second wave, the Krillian reinforcement fleet, emerged from hyperspace, expecting to find Earth under bombardment and the advance fleet victorious. Instead, they found only debris and a heavily armed human fleet waiting for them. The Krillian commander, Admiral Zexkron, stared at his screens in confusion. Where was Vector's fleet? Where were the 2,000 ships? And what were these strange vessels facing them? Unknown ships, identify yourselves, Zexkron demanded. Where is Supreme Commander Vector? General Chun's face appeared on every Krillian screen. Supreme Commander Vector is dead. His fleet is destroyed. You are looking at debris that was once 2,000 warships. You have one opportunity. Leave now. Return to your empire. Tell them Earth is not for conquest. Tell them humanity will not be threatened. Leave or join Victor in death. Zexkron laughed. A mistake. You destroyed 2,000 ships? Impossible. You're bluffing. We have 5,000 vessels. You have 200. Surrender now, and we may show mercy. Chun sighed. You were warned. The battle was even more one-sided than the first. Human warships moved with impossible speed and agility. Their weapons tore through Krillian shields like paper. Their defenses absorbed plasma fire without damage. Within 20 minutes, 3,000 Krillian ships were destroyed. The remaining 2,000 attempted to retreat. Let them go, Chun ordered. Let them return to their empire. Let them tell everyone what happened here. The surviving Krillian vessels fled into hyperspace, their commander traumatized by the devastating defeat. 7,000 ships sent to conquer one primitive planet. 7,000 ships destroyed or routed. It was the worst military disaster in Krillian history. The aftermath, in the weeks that followed, everything changed. The surviving Krillians spread word of Earth's power throughout the Empire. Fear replaced arrogance. Several conquered worlds, hearing that the mighty Dominion had been defeated, began rebellions. The Krillian Empire, which had seemed unstoppable, suddenly appeared vulnerable. The Galactic Council formally recognized Earth as a sovereign power and extended an invitation to join. Dozens of civilizations requested diplomatic relations. Trade agreements were proposed. Cultural exchanges organized. Humanity, hidden for 50 years, stepped onto the galactic stage not as victims or conquerors, but as defenders. General Chun stood in the same command center where he had destroyed 2 invasion fleets. On the screens around him, he could see messages from across the galaxy. Gratitude from freed worlds. Respect from peaceful civilizations. Fear from aggressive empires. And hope from species who had thought themselves doomed to servitude. "Sir?" Rodriguez asked quietly. "What happens now?" Chun looked up at the Earth, rotating peacefully above them, protected by defenses that had proven unbreakable. Now we keep our promise. We help free the 40 worlds the Krillians conquered. We stand with any species threatened by tyranny. We show the galaxy that strength and righteousness can coexist. And if others attack us? She asked. Then they'll learn what the Krillians learned, Chun replied. Humanity doesn't seek war. We don't want conflict. But we will never, ever surrender. We will never be slaves. And anyone who threatens our freedom or the freedom of others will face the full fury of 8 billion humans who refuse to bow. He smiled slightly. The Krillians thought they were the apex predators of the galaxy. They thought primitive humans would be easy prey. They learned too late that sometimes the prey has teeth and claws and weapons they never imagined. Humanity isn't just another species to be conquered. We're the species that conquered ourselves, unified ourselves, and prepared ourselves. The galaxy will be better for it. As Earth's sun rose over the command center, bathing the room in light, humanity's message was clear. The age of easy conquest was over. The age of galactic bullies dominating the weak had ended. A new era had begun, and humanity would help shape it. Not through fear or domination, but through strength, preparation, and an absolute refusal to be anyone's victims ever again. The End *.